You get called up. You go to the James Richardson International Airport, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Whatever the private. I think they fly to the same airport.
The Winnipeg Airport.
Yeah.
So you load up. Everything's loaded up. You're sitting on the plane. You decided you had to sit at the back with Big Buff.
I didn't decide. I was told because they travel with media people in the playoffs, and so the only seat was Buff's seat beside him, and typically he gets his own, and he was sick, and I just felt like an absolute peasant. And you go listen to that episode. I tell the story.
Why don't you retell for anyone that doesn't?
No, I know.
They're already here. They're already here listening.
It's true. So like basically, he was sick, and he was giving me a hard time, as one should, to a rookie peasant like myself. And the problem was, it was like, well, at least this is like a quick flight. This is like an hour flight. I can be the rookie peasant for an hour. Yeah, when a 1 hour flight turned into a quick 13-hour flight because of the weather, and we circled and stuck in Duluth, and it was pretty brutal. And we actually flew back to Manitoba, and then didn't even leave till the next day. But Buff was like, my phone's dead, I need to use yours. And I didn't have full service. I was still on my parents' plan at the time, and it didn't have unlimited data in Canada, only in the States. So I was like, I can't, I don't have data. And he's like, to be fair.
You said it to him.
Yeah, to be fair, when I'm sick, I am the most miserable person to be around. So I couldn't imagine him and then losing his seat, and so and him being he was a big jokester. Even me being around training camp and stuff for a little bit of time, jokester guy, and he's a big person, man, and he's a little intimidating. And so when he's joking but also an intimidating person, and you're me, and naturally I'm not super outgoing or get in your face kind of guy, I was intimidated. And yeah, some Winnipeg Jet fans thought that story is me making fun of Buff, and then that brings it to the Reddit thread that we talked about.
There's a whole Winnipeg Jets Reddit about you for that.
Yeah,
for the show we did,
which is sweet, man. It doesn't bother me, but it bothered my wife. So my wife, who she didn't know, we didn't meet when I was playing hockey, so she's not a hockey girl. Didn't live that life. She's not a hockey wife wag on TikTok, which is a whole other thing in itself.
Don't get me started.
Thank
on
goodness.
TikTok wives.
I'm happy she's not. But we don't. We met in school, and so she doesn't. We don't I don't really talk to her about my hockey career unless it was different things, or we're around hockey people and the stories are flowing. I'll throw it out. And, I don't want to talk to her and be like, hey, babe. So there's this one time where I was in a hotel room in Nova Scotia, in Newfoundland, and I was debating between either playing or throwing myself out the window because I was so depressed. That's a weird thing. It's good to communicate with your wife, but also that's not coming up at the dinner table, and so it's funny because she came up to me and she's like, people at work were asking, because I told them that I used to play hockey, and she's like, I didn't really know much, and so I Googled you, and she's like, did you know there's this Reddit thing, and people are being really mean to you, and I was like, yeah, people say a lot of mean things because, for whatever reason, but that's just the way it goes, and it doesn't hurt me. I woken up and had thousands of tweets from people telling you how much you suck before you play a game. You get used to that. So it doesn't feel good, but you get used to it. I just felt bad for my wife because if I went on the internet and people were just ripping her apart, I would feel terrible. And so it kind of sucks. So I had to explain to her how a lot of things work, and I had to tell her a little bit more about different things and those experience. But yeah, for some reason that story just did not resonate with people.
You could say one thing to Jets fans that saw that, they got upset, or they got upset about the Line A story, where again, this is a funny story.
It's a funny story, and it's pigeon tossing myself, never them, because I was an absolute peasant. I get it, but it's just, those are the stories, and those are what they are.
Buff just wanted to use your data to watch fishing.
Yeah, and I just didn't want to pay $80. As someone who, self-admittedly is cheap, I didn't want to spend $80 on that. Actually, technically my dad would have, but my dad would have sent me an e-transfer request for it. So
give Mr. Bufflin the data.
Yeah. With hindsight, probably should have given Bufflin the data. Maybe he would have vouched for me to get a couple games, but
Phillips kid is great. We should call him again.
Great. Call him again. Yeah, but you live and learn.
You got a raise of a couple $1,000 for going over on the call up, and he wanted $80 of data. I guess now that we break it down,
idiot.
But hindsight's 50-50.
Hindsight is 50-50, as they say.
Or on the same trip. Do you want to tell the Line A story as well with the Louis Vuitton?
It was on a different trip, but yeah, he put the bag.
Patrick Line did.
Patrick Line put his bag by me. and it was like a, you know, all black, pretty sick, all black. I told you I bought the knockoff version.
We'll get there in a second.
I was like, yeah. And he put it beside me and he goes, 10K, don't touch, and sat down and started playing Fortnite. And I was like, come on, man. Like, what am I gonna do? Take it? Like, we're on the same bus.
At the back of the bus with Buff?
Yeah, like, no, I'm at the front of the bus, that's for sure. And then I bought that knockoff version and I kept it in my room as like a motivator later. Like, whenever I'd wake up and be like, you're not being a peasant today. You're not gonna get pigeon tossed like that again. You know, to be fair, like, he got a hard time in Winnipeg. He wasn't a bad guy, and like, it's crazy. And the thing is too is like everyone that was really hard on him now is like, oh, we weren't so hard on him and stuff because we found out like he had, was going through a lot of things. I went to the program and substance abuse or whatever, and mental health things, and now everyone's like, oh. But before they knew that, boy, did they rip into him.
Well, the people that said that too, I don't think they'd say it to his face.
Yeah, but he wasn't a bad guy at all, and like I thought, like he was quiet, did his thing, kept to himself. Like, I thought it was pretty good. You were gonna say, do you have anything to say to the Jets fans that are mean to me? No, I don't care. Although the Winnipeg, despite not having the opportunities that I definitely deserve, that is a class act organization, 10 out of 10 organization. Like, it sucks that people like don't want to play there. Like, I get it, it's the weather sucks in the winter. Like, it's not great. But
I'm born there. I'll attest to it. Yep, it's cold.
Oh my God, they treat you so well. They treat you so well, and everyone in the organization, from the top all the way down to just like, think of the lowest position you could find. Great people, maybe just because they're Canadian Winnipeggers, but the culture is like good. And even in Manitoba, like, you'd think you're getting treated like they would treat you in the NHL. And like, so like, I love that. Like, and yeah, they paid a bunch of money. Would I like to have a little bit different communication between the coaching staff and myself as we played? Yeah, but it was great, and I loved it, and I'm very thankful for that. And so, you still make fun of me on the internet, I get it, but just remember that I'm the peasant here, and I'm not making fun of Buff because he beat me up, you know.
I never saw anybody talk about this, but you want to go off on the omelet bar?
Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. We do a new podcast every single Sunday during the season called Slinging the Biscuit. It is a non-mainstream hockey podcast, so we talk about my hockey career, the minor pros, Spain, the Fed, you name it, all the stuff that you won't hear in the mainstream news.
Music,
pop culture,
politics, a little bit.
Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you soon.